I don't know what's going on, man, because normally there's multiple people that are talking about the chapter as it drops. And today, not once. Normally I'm hearing, the chapter is hype as fuck, it's going to destroy you, the feels are crazy, something. And all I'm hearing right now are faint whispers about the chapter, which is unnatural. It's normal, it's par for the course to hear people raving about Tokyo Ghoul every week. That's just how it works. So I'm wondering if this silence is a good thing or a bad thing, because after the way we left things last week, and I already know we're not going back to Cochlea, although when we do, shit's going to be absolutely insane. But we need answers to what the fuck's going on. What happened to Mutsuki? Okay, we need a revelation. I still choose to believe that is in fact Torso's torso, and that Mutsuki has now been warped and did that to mutilate the man, which that's one path to go down. It could also very well be Mutsuki, which is fucked. From what I'm looking at on this first page, it seems like we're getting into a Mutsuki flashback. And I don't know which way that's gonna go. It could very well go down the path of it showcasing something crucial, finally giving us the final pieces of Mitsuki's past and what happened with her family, his family, however the fuck you want to say it, because every time people come at me and they're like, yo, it's not politically correct to say her, he identifies as a man, to say it's a dude. I feel that, I respect that. I like referring to Mitsuki as a woman. I see Mutsuki as a woman. She's still technically a woman. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I don't know if this is going to be a death flag planted and seal it, or if this really will lead into that. There's also a possibility that, like I said last week, it's just somebody from Torso's collection, and they're not. Neither of them are there. And what Urie saw is just some old torso that the man has been saving in his stockpile. Who knows? Either way, with Kudo on the island, dude, so much setup and potential for various other things to happen on Rue alone, and barring going back to Cochlea, which I really do hope, even though I know we're going to stick with Rue. I already predicted for us to stick with Rue, at least for this chapter. I don't know what's going to happen by the end of this, but at least for this chapter, I know we're going to be on Rue. And the question is then, just like I had fears for going back to Rue, when we go back to Cochlea, I don't want too much glossed over. I want us to go right back in where we left off, and I don't know if she's going to do that. But with all that said, Tokyo Ghoul Chapter 78, titled 100p. And I don't even want to even begin to try and inspect and decipher what the symbolism of that title is right now. We're just going to fucking dive in. My family was killed by ghouls. Toru Mutsuki, speak clearly. What happened to your family? I don't remember. What lurks in his past, dude? Like, I'm scared of this right now. If legitimately we get fully because we got glimpses into it. We saw the abuse that Mutsuki suffered, not but a couple chapters back, and now I don't know, man. I don't know what this will actually reveal, but we're gonna have to go in and see. Stop lying. Get this fiend, man. So fucking twisted. I can't stand him. If he lays another hand on Mutsuki, man, you're crying. Like, don't touch her. Don't you dare touch her. You're crying. Were you having a scary dream? No, I'm okay. I far prefer the dream, dude. It's so twisted. It's so fucked. I'm hungry. I'll fix something. Dear, do you ever think about the past? The past? Sometimes I can't really remember things. Just keep him talking, at least while he... Fuck, dude. This flashback, this definitely is occurring, this scene is definitely unfolding before Urie stumbled into the cave. So, this very well may be building up to Mutsuki finally slipping away and snapping. But we'll have to... This line hurts me, man. At least while he's going on, he won't hit me. Really? I remember what happened before and what happens after, but it's like the middle's just rotted away. I was raised by my father at... No, dude. Really? We're slipping into the torso flashback now. I was actually, I mean, this might be very well be interesting. Look here, Karao. Don't you dare approach any humans. You're an idiot. A complete dunce. If the does find you, I'll probably end up dying too. If that ever happens, please do me a favor and just die by yourself. Damn, dude. It's not even like, this is not even surprising to me. Now we know. His father is a complete and utter asshole. Absolute fiend. Disgusting. So you already know this is how Torso became twisted and warped. Was his father's influence now. My mother. He said that one day he just couldn't find any food. And he had no choice but to eat her, dude. Ishida, man, don't do this to me right now. Don't you do this to me. I don't want to feel anything for this man. I want to despise him. But Ishida, it wouldn't be the first time. Ishida loves to do this and give traces of humanity and imbue the viewer with sympathy and feels for characters that are utterly disgusting. Okay, as long as he fleshes them out, because right now, this line, I feel a slight bit of sadness and caring for Torso because of this line that I don't want to have. I need to snuff it out, man. Please, do me a favor and just die by yourself. Kind of father. Son, don't do this to me. Are we really getting a full-on Torso flashback? And then even in line with Mutsuki, I don't know how to take this. It could go either way in terms of the fate of the character. I did as I was told. I never went down to the city. The mountain where our tent was pitched was my world. I had more time than I knew what to do with. I would raid landfills for books and sit and read them. You could read? Actually, no. I would just stare at the pages. But soon enough, something happened. Something that helped me learn. There was one time that father left and didn't return for over a month. Probably, dude, what a fucking... I'm not gonna displace it wholly on the man's father. Whatever the man's father did to him in the past, I can already feel that it's fucked up. I can already feel it, but... he's still an absolute fiend. I just need to keep that in mind. He's laid hands on too many women. Kimi probably, fell prey to his twisted desires. I can't forgive him, but I don't know what this flashback's about to do, man. Eventually, I really just couldn't bear the hunger anymore. So I broke father's rules and went down to the town. In truth, it was a pretty small little place, but to me, it was huge. I was a bit scared of stepping onto the road, so I sat staring for a good while. What the heck is this weird ground? Freaky. Dude, that's crazy. His whole world is that little tent on the mountainside. Never been to town before. And dude, don't tell me this is his first victim. What you doing? Minomi. She looks adorable though, I'm not even gonna lie. There's no way she's still alive though. No way. I feel like that's what they're leading up to right now. Is it okay to walk on this stuff? The innocence of it, man. That's crazy to me. He almost seems pure in this state. The juxtaposition with the fiend that we know. It must be really fucked up whatever happens, right? What do you mean? Nothing. There's nothing to be scared of, silly. It's not cold. It's gonna be this fucking fiend, dude. His father's gonna warp the shit out of him. I get the feeling that the game she and I played that day were but silly, foolish flights of fancy. But they were enough to make me forget my hunger. I need to go back. My dad will. Me too. Can we see each other again? Hello, Father. Father showed up not more than a few days after that. Eventually, much later, of course, I realized that he'd probably been in town buying or chasing women. Minomi had moved from the country, out to Kanto because of family circumstances. I don't think she had any friends. She spent her days playing with me. She taught me to read and write. My world changed. This is not okay, Ishida. This is not okay. That's the thing, though. That's how you masterfully craft a character. Kara, you don't go to school, do you? Why? Of course I couldn't tell her it was because I was a ghoul. My parents are really strict and it was a pretty nonsensical excuse. I wish I was born in your house, Kara. Minomi, your house has plenty of food and a pretty bed and stuff, right? What's there to be sad about? They love me in strange ways. Dude. Kara, do you ever think about just going away somewhere far? Red, blue, purple. Bruises, no doubt, due to family circumstances. Dude, the way that's put. Dialogue in this chapter is amazing. I particularly like this going back. I get the feeling the games she and I played that day were but silly, foolish flights of fancy. That's a dope one. But, even though it's very redundant, but still. I'm trying to figure out the ways this goes right now in my head. It's either Torso's father does something, Minomi's family does something, or Torso does something to Minomi by himself, maybe by the influence of his father. I felt her will to live, her life force, and it was beautiful. You went down to the Of course he found out. You went down to the city, didn't you? How? How? You mean, how did you find out? Right, girl? Holy. Dude. That's fucked up. Here I am arranging food for your mangy ass, and you go out and try to get me killed. If you want to go down there so bad, then make do on your own, you shit. I actually feel bad for Torso. It's just a tinge though. I gotta keep everything in perspective. If only he could manage to get some damn food, it would be better for the both of us. Fuck. Scars. The man literally just tore into his cheek. Daddy, don't go. This is so fucked up, man. I mean, it's not the worst thing we've ever seen in terms of the history of the series, for sure. But it's in line with it. It always has to be fucking tragic and dark and painful. After all, I was still a child. No matter how much of a piece of trash he was, I couldn't help but cling to my father. And to a desperately clinging me, Minomi extended a hand. Kara. I took it, but sadly, I didn't really know where we could go. Wow, Kara, your house really is something. It's like, dude, you fucked up, Torso. You fucked up. It's like a secret hideout. I want to go somewhere where I can see the ocean. I used to live close to the ocean, you know. The ocean, huh? Yeah, there are a bunch of boats docked there and everything. Let's walk. No, we'll get tired. Then we should get a car. I'll learn how to drive and I'll take you to the ocean. Dude. Damn. Ultimately. But promise. I promise. Look at him, dude. Look, this panel is great. Man caught the boner. Dude's just chilling there. Doesn't even know what to do with himself. I can't believe this is actually making me sympathize with Torso. A certain noise woke me up. The sound of a fire made with wet branches. Of course. What a fiend, dude. Holy shit. I saw Minomi stark naked, being dismembered by my father. Damn, dude. Looks like you can do it if you just put your mind to it, eh? Come here and help me with this. Yo. The next thing I knew, father was dead. Holy shit, look at this panel. He ripped him into shreds, dude. Literally, his torso's lying over here, his head is over here, the lower half of his bottom's over here, there's a rogue arm. Oh, dude. Straight blind rage. I don't even fault him, dude was a fiend. The next thing I knew, father was dead. Didn't really affect me one way or another. Compared to the rest of her, Minomi's torso remained rather clean and pretty. It smelled like chalk. This is how it happened to him. And from there, well, I think you know the story. At that time, if only I had, or if only I didn't, that's all I could think of. Damn, son. If you can forget the past, Toru, I think it's for the best. I wanted to take Minomi to the ocean. I can't believe I'm here sympathizing with it. That's what I'm saying, Mutsuki. That's what I'm saying. I can't believe I'm sitting here sympathizing with the guy that cut off your arms and legs too, as well as dismembered countless females throughout the entire series. I can't. He's been nothing but an utter twisted fiend, although he realistically did save him that one time, but still. I must be crazy, but now that I've talked to him, I might. What the fuck? No. It's okay. It's okay. I still think he's a twisted fiend. Look at his whole constitution. Those long, lanky, dangling arms. It's just something about it is so fucking creep to me. Picking up Mutsuki Nugget Chancellor, it's fucked. Because I love you, I'll take you instead. Yo. Wait, though. This may very well come unless Mutsuki regenerated. And the thing about it is the fact that Mutsuki is beginning to sympathize with the man as well. It kind of makes it like, it seems as though Mutsuki may very well be able to come out of this if she in fact survives. She can come out of this with her mentality mostly intact. I think she's been broken to a degree already, but I don't think it'll be to the point where she utterly snaps. Maybe I'm gonna have to revise this based on this tagline. And it says, next issue, where do the two of them go? Based on the backstory with Minomi. I'm guessing he wanted to take her to the ocean, so they're going off to the beach on the side of Rue, or something like that. So they're no longer in the cave, neither of them. So that may very well be, like I said, part of Torso's collection, just one of the torsos that were in there. Maybe it's Minomi's, dude, and that's why but the thing is, it would have rotted hardcore by then. It'd be straight up ash at this stage. I don't think he could preserve it that long unless he legitimately tends to these torsos, which he probably does. It's probably part of his sick and twisted fetish, and he was trying to preserve how pristine the torso of Minomi looked to him. That's all he had left of her, and that's what imbued that. That is a fucked backstory, I'm not gonna lie. Torso's father was legitimately an absolute fiend, a complete asshole, disgusting. But I can't dismiss everything he's done just because of what he experienced in that moment. Even though I do sympathize with him a bit, I do definitely feel for the character now. Which is in a way that, as long as Ishida does this time and time again, as long as he provides insight and exposition, because there's always a catalyst for things that transpire. And whenever he provides insight exposition, he always tends to let the viewer, latch on to a character that they didn't really give a shit about before, once they start to feel for them and sympathize with them. Only characters that are just twisted fiends that never really get that insight. I'm sure that when Furuta does go out, that'll be the case, although we'll definitely get Furuta's backstory, but I don't think it's going to sway us into utter sympathy. But characters like Kishima, never got anything about it. Nobody cares. He was just an absolute fiend. But now, Torso's been humanized a little bit into a way where I actually feel bad for the character. But I'm not going to let it dismiss his actions. So I can't believe this chapter was full-on Torso backstory, dude. Ishida's playing games with me out here, man. Nevertheless, this gives me more hope that Mutsuki is alive, at the very least. But it doesn't seem like it's going to go the way that I thought it was. Whatever, man. That's about it. Very straightforward chapter. I think it's been a while since I didn't have to break out the glasses for a chapter. But it definitely had a power and a weight to it in terms of giving us a sense of sympathy for Torso. So, let me know your thoughts on the chapter. Let me know any theories and predictions you have as to where things are going to go from here on in terms of Rue, going back to Kokla, which area you think Amon's going to show up on. I still think the possibility of Amon going to Kokla is high, especially since Kuro is here. Maybe they both split off. And Kuro's here. Kuro's is out for vengeance. She wants Juzo. She wants to meet up with her papa and get fucking answers, right? And the whole thing with Shiro, which I want to address what a lot of people were talking about, the theories concerning that. There's multiple ways it can go. Based on the ways I've outlined, there's about like 4 ways that it could go. A lot of ways that I don't want to go, like simply her have taken, Shiro's Kakugan, slapped it into her head, and then tattooed the other symbol onto her, and then she's just broken and crazy and talking to herself and imagining Shiro being there. That's definitely one way. It's definitely the most straightforward way, and I think it's a huge possibility. I like the ideas of her cannibalizing Shiro, and some maybe then taking the Kakugan, and there's actually on the way to the development of Kuro becoming Kakuja, that insanity, she hears the voices of Kuro, just like the manifestations of, Arise and Hide and things of that nature that Kaneki had as well, that being part of his own subconscious. So I like that. If there's actually some sort of hybrid fusion of Shiro and Kuro going on, that's crazy to me, and I don't know how that could potentially happen without Kano. So there's various ways. There's even more. So that's all I want to address right now. I definitely want to see what the fuck happened with the bar and everything that's happening over there. But other than that, definitely a good chapter. Probably one of the least hyped chapters we've gotten in a little while, and I think I need this, especially for the exposition that it gave us into Torso's past. So let me know your thoughts on the chapter, and I'm out. Peace.